Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Nueva Mentality. Right now, I'm with Jerry Orantes. Jerry Orantes is the owner.
Yes, I'm partner, 50% owner of Next Level Smart Home with my partner, Jeremiah Winfrey.
Next Level Smart Homes. And I want to point out that Jerry is, in my social circle, I consider him an OG. He's older than us. He's been doing things before us.
What you mean, how old are you?
I'm 35.
I'm 27, so I don't know what he's talking
Okay.
about.
Well, I mean, just on a business mindset, he's always been a little bit elevated. But Jerry, so this is Next Level Smart Homes. Could you tell us when you started your business doing this?
Man, so we started the business in late 2018. So I remember I got the idea around that summer and just kind of looked more into it and told a couple of friends about it, talked to Jeremiah about it, my business partner, and he wanted to get in on it. So we started 2018.
2018, and he's mentioning Jeremiah. I used to work with Jeremiah. I know Jerry and Jeremiah. They have a electronics background in the wireless industry. So Jerry, could you talk about a little bit about your wireless industry experience and how it helped you today in this business?
Yeah, not a problem, man. I started in the wireless industry back in early 2000s, man. We started with Verizon.
Okay.
Worked for Wireless Advocates. That's obviously where we work together. Got my brother into it. Got a lot of friends into it. My friend Anton, I credit Anton Houston for getting me into Wireless Advocates. And I don't know if that was first or second. I forget. But Verizon, Wireless Advocates, where we sold T-Mobile, AT&T, and then worked at corporate T-Mobile. That's where I met Jeremiah back in 2011 when I moved, or 2012 or 2011. I moved back to Houston, and that's where I met Jeremiah. I worked with him at T-Mobile for a while. Worked there for about 6 to 8 years, something like that. And then what else happened from there? So obviously with cell phones, man, cell phones were connecting to everything, right? Cell phones were essentially making your life easier. Everything was being connected at the time. Alexa started kind of coming out, and Alexa's been out for a while, but I could really see what was kind of going on with like Alexa and Google and how they were competing at the time. And back in 2018, a lot of the smart home stuff was pretty basic. Turning your lights on and doing simple things.
I remember that there was a clap. People used to clap for the lights to turn off. I don't
clap
know
on, clap off. That's more. That's not
back.
necessarily wasn't smart, but it just it would hear you. You would hear you clap, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, man, it was just I just started seeing the potential in it. I mean, I liked it. I got my first Alexa and started kind of playing with it, tinkering with it, connecting it to smart plugs, connecting it to my thermostat back in the day. And it kind of just, we saw a lot of potential in it. And, as the years went on, there were software updates, more engineering. There was it ran faster. It started connecting to more things. Nowadays, most of your major appliances are smart devices. So, yeah, I mean, and now there's a different level of smart home automation that a lot of people don't know about. It's not just all about Alexa and Google. There's smart home automations with a little bit just higher caliber, higher end that can do a lot more, called Control 4, Crestron, Savant, right? These other systems are a lot more. They've been around for a while, but they're bigger players in the game, and they cost a lot more. And they kind of, again, do what Alexa and Google do, but just on the next level.
So, what does it do?
So yeah, currently Google Alexa can start your TV. You can activate your alarm. You can ask it to see your cameras on your TV. You can be sitting on the couch and it's feeling a little warm. You can ask Alexa to, hey, turn the temperature down, right?
Oh, okay.
You can ask Alexa to turn the lights on outside. But nowadays, for stuff like that, you want to automate that and you want to schedule that, so that way you don't have to worry about certain things. You just don't have to want to worry about.
Okay.
So yeah.
Is that what Next Level does? Is that where the automation comes in?
Yeah, what Next Level does very well, and I think a lot of consumers tend to buy just random products, right? They go to Costco or they go to Walmart and they see something that's smart and they buy it. But what people tend to do is they buy an Alexa product that's not really compatible with their TV, or a thermostat that's not compatible with the Google, or lights that aren't compatible, with things that just don't work well together. Right. So what ends up happening is you end up having like 10 apps to control 10 different things. And ideally, what you really want is you want one app to control everything. So I think that's where people make the mistake, and that's where we come in and really kind of educate the customer on, hey, this is what we're going to set you up with, so that way it's all on one app. Or if you want to do it your way, just know we kind of we basically what's the word I'm looking for?
Integrate.
No, it's we set the right expectations, man. Because a lot of times customers they don't want to buy new equipment. They're heavily invested in what they bought already. So there's limitations to this, right? So currently there's limitations. So we let them know, hey, this is how it's going to work based on what you have. If you don't want to buy new equipment and do it our way, then we're going to do it your way, and we're going to show you how to do it your way as best as possible.
Okay, I like an example I have is say I reach out to you guys. I don't want to get rid of my equipment. At my house, I have the Blink home security cameras and a Samsung smart TV. And if I don't want to get rid of that equipment, I guess what would you have to do in order to like appease the customer in my situation?
So I would tell you this. You could keep them. You could keep your Blink and you could keep your Samsung TV. Now I know those two items don't integrate together, right? But hey, if you want them to integrate together, you can get Ring cameras, install them outside, and now you can use your Samsung TV utilizing their ecosystem called SmartThings, and now you're able to see your front doorbell. So you could be watching a game and somebody rings the doorbell, and boop, you can see who's at the door.
Through the TV.
Okay. Right? They're cool little things like that. Yeah. Or the kids are playing in the backyard, and you want to see, hey, you can flip the game over to your backyard and see what the kids are doing.
Okay.
So little things like that.
Okay, so I guess we can go back to like if we wanted all new equipment and have it in one app. Do we need a certain brand, or is that just the software that you guys have?
No, so you need to go with what Alexa works best with, or what Google works best with, right? Okay. If you go that route, or what Apple HomeKit works best with. Okay. Right. A lot of people are, at the Apple ecosystem is really nice. It's smooth, but it's probably got, out of the three, it's got the smallest market share, right? Apple. So yeah. And they tend to only work better with certain devices, right? So your Apple HomeKit, I think back in the day, wouldn't work with a Nest thermostat, but now I believe it does, and so does Alexa. So things have evolved, things have changed, and now they're playing better with each other, and that leads us to like the next thing, something called Matter, right? And Thread, right? Okay. These are new these are new setups to basically they allow things to work better together now, and that's coming up in the future. Now, when you buy something, it's gonna have the Matter logo, meaning it's gonna work with Alexa, it's gonna work with Google, it's gonna work with Control 4, it's gonna work with Josh AI, it's gonna work with all these other brands. So.
Oh, I see. And you're saying a lot of brands that I've never heard before. So these are these new brands that are coming out. They're superior to what we know. What we know is Google, Alexa, Apple, things like that.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, where are they coming from? Who are the?
Just out of China, man. No, no, man. But no, they're companies out there that are really kind of being innovative, and because right now I'm sure most people that work with Alexa, you run it with Alexa can't understand what you're saying. With Alexa, you have to be very exact. Right, you have to be very direct with Alexa, and so you have to have a way of speaking to her where she works the way you want it to work.
Kids find out.
Yeah, exactly. So with this company called Josh AI, it's a lot more intuitive. So you don't have to say things in a certain order. You can say it backwards, forwards, and it knows what you're doing. It knows what you're saying, and it does what you want, what you're trying to have it do. So that's a big one on the market right now called Josh AI. It's basically an Alexa, but it controls everything. It controls, and it's a lot more expensive. That's the biggest thing. There's a big price tag on it.
Okay. And then whenever you quote a customer, I guess you would have to break that down for them to see if they want that.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly.
Could you tell me what kind of customer asks for those bigger or the better equipment?
What kind of customer you think?
I guess I'm thinking, the wealthy,
Yeah, man. So you're talking about, a customer that, and not necessarily, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but for majority of the time, yeah, you're talking about, homes that are at least, 600-700K, where a customer is going to drop, it's not going to pay, it's not going to go with Alexa because they find it very basic and they want something a lot more intuitive. They want their things to work right. They want to stunt, they want their friends to come over, right? They want to entertain. They want to basically show off these kind of better looking devices that work the way they're supposed to work, right? The way to really make your smart home smart and just nice looking. It gives your home a very luxury look.
So those people that you're mentioning right now, they do they ask for? Is it for their man cave? Is it for their living room?
It's for their man cave. It's for the living room. It's for the entire home. And believe, most customers really don't know about these products, right? A lot of customers start talking about Alexa and Google, and they have some Alexa and Google products. But when they have that type of disposable income, they like hearing these options and they want to upgrade, right? So, yeah.
Oh, let's just say, for my house, I have a starter home. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and my plan is to fix the backyard. When I say fix the backyard, I want to put a slab down and have a what do they call those over the top, like a roof over the top.
Yeah.
And because I seen the videos you have people setting up their TVs outside. They have barbecue pits. If I have that set up and I want to set up a TV, I want to make that like a place where I can watch the Super Bowl. Super Bowl coming up Sunday, by the way. It's a good time to reach out to you guys.
Go that. Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Go Chiefs. So like for me, for example, if I wanted that, I'm just focusing on my backyard.
Yeah.
What would that look like cost wise, and what kind of equipment would I need, or that you would advise I get?
So the most important thing is when you have a project like this, is to call us prior to that project starting. Because what ends up happening a lot is customers start building. You got your slab down, and now you got the roof over. You got this nice pergola or whatever you build out there, and now you decide you want a TV. So now it becomes a little more challenging, which means more labor, which means more cost to you just to install a TV out there, because you didn't install the electrical, you didn't run the wiring, you didn't run any Cat 6, you didn't install any speakers, right?
And that's what you guys do,
right? You basically want to do this. You want to make sure you project manage everything, and you do this when the time comes. So this way, when it's all said and done, all we got to do is install the speakers, and the wire's already there, right? And all you want to do is mount the TV, and the plug's already there. And now that wire from the speakers to the TV is there. So now instead of just using your TV speakers, you're using the really nice speakers that you installed. Now you have a better feel, better sound outside, right?
Right.
Yeah, gives you more of a in-game vibe.
Right. So whenever if I set up a project like that, do you guys collaborate with the construction workers before? We collaborate with whoever's
running that install for you, right?
Oh,
Whoever's gonna make that build out of your outdoor patio, right?
Right.
We would talk to them and be like, hey, when you get to this point, talk to the owner. The owner communicates with us, and we kind of let them know, hey, install this conduit, right? So if you're gonna cement around it, make sure this conduit is in there, right? The Smurf tube. So this way, the wire is ready to run. You don't have to do anything, right? We don't have to run a wire outside your nice little outdoor fireplace. That's gonna look ugly. You want everything to look clean. You don't want to see wires, right?
Got it.
Maybe you want to install a camera out there as well, right? Which is, so that way you're protecting your assets, and when you're not home, as well as keeping an eye on who's out there and watching.
Right. So if I were to get that, and I'm coming to you, like, what would you recommend would make that setup, I guess, perfect for my budget and my taste?
And you said the keyword budget, man. So everyone's got a different budget. Customers never like sharing budget, and it's very important because I want to know your budget so I can get you the best items possible for your budget, right? Because speakers can run you, man. Speakers on average can run you, $100 a speaker for a simple basic speaker, or you can spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a speaker per speaker, right? So it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want super crisp, clean sound speakers that are meant for sports entertainment, we can get you those type of speakers. If you just want, bareback, something very simple. If you're on a budget, we can get you the best speakers that sound the best for your budget. Okay. So this happens a lot where customers don't want to give you your budget. So we're gonna quote something that that may be over your budget on, and again, I don't know what to quote you.
Yeah.
I have 1,000 different options.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I quote you something where you're like, ooh, $500 a speaker, that's too much. Well, now I got to go back to the drawing board again. Cool, $500, I get it, and I totally understand. That's why I asked for your budget. Now I'm giving you $100 speaker.
Okay.
And I'm gonna set those expectations, right? Good speaker is still gonna sound good. It's gonna sound better than your TV speakers, anyways. So you're still winning.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you need an amp, you need the wiring, right? We got to account labor for it, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I guess 2 questions. How many speakers, and are there opportunities to upgrade those speakers? Where they're at, I guess.
Yeah, so let's just say 10 years down, we install speakers, and 10 years down the road, you want better speakers? Yeah, absolutely. As long as that speaker wire is still there, we can just pull those down and put in new speakers. So you can always upgrade.
It's like a cell phone tech right there. Upgrade.
Yeah. What was your first question?
How many speakers would?
So how many speakers is how many? Like, depends on the size of your outdoor setup, right? If it's something like this, you can do 2. But if it's big and open, most of the time we recommend 4, especially since you're outside,
Yeah,
right?
outside.
When you got walls, your music's gonna be, it's gonna sound good with 2 speakers. But when you just have a roof, and it's all open all the way around with just posts on each corner, that sound's it's not gonna be as directional as you want it. So 4 would sound even better.
Oh, okay.
So recommend 4, but 2 will work. The key is just to turn the volume up.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, I guess the image that I have in my head is that there's not going to be any walls, just the roof maybe.
Mhm.
So maybe wind and stuff. You want to take that into account. Outside, what kind of TV would you recommend?
I always recommend an outdoor TV, man. But the problem with outdoor TVs, it come down to a lot in price, but they're still pricey, right? A good 65-inch outdoor TV, Samsung makes it, runs you about $3,500.
Okay.
That's a 65-inch, but the biggest thing is, people are like, I'm gonna buy a $600 TV and put it out there. Cool, you can definitely do that, but there's a lot of differences in these TVs. Outdoors TVs, of course, they're made to withstand like heat, obviously weather, and they're a lot brighter. So when it's sunny outside, you can see what's going on. With a simple $500-$600 cheap TV, they're not as bright, so there's going to be glare. You're going to be, at night you don't have issues, but during the day, if you're in the pool and you want to watch TV, it's going to look kind of faint. And I see that all the time when I go to bars, right? You can barely see the TV. You really can't see what's going on. You got to get closer. That's because they're using low-end TVs, right? They're not using the proper outdoor TVs.
I mean, on football Sundays, it's going to be daylight, so
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So all that light reflecting off that TV, it's gonna pretty much drain out the light, and so it's just harder to see. It's
right.
It's not a
does the TV
pleasing experience.
Say again?
It's not just it's not a pleasing experience sometimes.
Right. You invite everybody over and they can't even see the screen.
Yeah.
But does the TV being outdoors, is there wear and tear on the TV for being outside?
There is, right? There's heat. It's going to be dust. There's going to be dust. People cutting the grass out there. There's going to be, but it's enclosed where everything's kind of all the guts and the parts of the TV are inside, and there's an enclosure. So it's kind of built within an enclosure. So it's protected from dust and rain and moisture, which is why an outdoor TV should last you 5 to 10 years.
Oh, right. You did mention outdoors, so they built the TV to be outdoors.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And there's a lot of different. There's a lot of different brands out there, right? There's Samsung is probably the most notable one that makes a great outdoor TV, but there's a couple other brands out there that make outdoor TV. They're a little less from a cost standpoint. That customers probably never heard the brand, but they exist. They're good. They're solid outdoor TVs that are a little less than anywhere from like 20 to 30% less than the Samsung TV.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess I guess there's ways that I guess if we're talking about budget, you can probably pick the TV. What is there something I'm missing? I know you mentioned the TV. We mentioned the wiring. Is there anything that I would need, like it's being outside? I don't know, a bigger router for the Wi-Fi.
So ideally, we want to hardwire that TV. So again, part of the planning stage is figuring out, how do I get data to that TV, right? It could be wireless. If your wireless in the area is good, cool. You're gonna have a wireless connection, so you'll be able to use YouTube TV. You'll be able to use an Apple TV or Roku, whatever you decide to use as your source for the TV. You'll be able to use that there, no problem. But a lot of times, customers don't have a good wireless connection out there. So if we can hardwire, we will. So that requires running a wire from wherever that TV is going to be back to the house, and basically connect it to the house.
And you guys would do that with, behind the walls where you want to see the wires.
Correct. And you always want to do it as clean as possible. You don't want to see any wires. You either want to trench them or conceal them any way possible. Right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
So look at their Instagram page. You'll see their home theaters setups. So what is it that they use for their home theater? Is that a projector?
So it depends on the customer, right? Depending if you have a good sized wall for it, we do recommend projectors. Projectors are really nice. If you're, normally in a home theater, you don't have any windows. So projectors were great in rooms without windows, right? Because anytime you use a projector and you have open windows, if you want to put a projector in your living room, normally you have so much natural light coming in that it just absorbs the light from the projector. And so now it's just not as bright as you want it to be.
You want it in a dark enclosed room.
Yep, a proper home theater room should have no windows, right? So yeah, you want, so that way that projector, you're watching on a 120-inch, 130-inch screen.
Awesome.
And you're getting best bang for your buck.
Right. And how much would that kind of setup go for? I guess
depends on the projector. A solid projector could run you about $2,000, $2,500 for a decent projector. But they can go if you want super high end 4K, 8K quality. They got projectors going for $10,000, $20,000.
Okay.
So again, all budget.
What's the biggest house project you've done so far?
Oof, that's a good question. We've done multiple of them, but I'd say probably over 100K project. 100K
project, and what did that 100K consist of?
Man, it consisted of everything. It consisted of TVs. It consisted of
how many TVs? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, no, you're probably talking about in the house, maybe anywhere from 7 to 8, maybe 7 to 10 TVs, if I remember correctly. So 7 to 10 TVs.
It's probably a big house.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a big house. You have it could be considered a mansion. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the house was already wired for it, right? So we didn't do the pre-wiring part of it, but they found us because they didn't want to deal with their current builder, and they didn't want to deal with just the builders usually have that involved TVs and involved cameras and involved re-networking their entire home, right? Giving them a proper network, because a smart home really comes down to that. That's the foundation behind everything is a network.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
You can't just have AT&T go out there and put a little box and expect to get coverage everywhere.
Yeah. So that's something that you guys have to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we set them up with a proper network infrastructure. We set them up with TV, security cameras, remotes that basically are smart remotes. So obviously, your partner, your wife may find technology very intimidating. So, sometimes she doesn't want to touch. She wants to turn on the TV and watch a show, but she doesn't know what to do.
But the blinds turn on.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah, and so basically, Control 4 makes these very nice looking remotes where we can program a button for her to press a button. It'll turn the TV on. It'll kick in the speakers in the ceiling.
User friendly.
Super user friendly. She presses one button and it goes straight to, let's say, Lifetime. Right, you can program that. So now, hey, her TV turns on, her show's on, and if she wants to change the channel, well, that's pretty simple. She's gonna just change the channel from there. But yeah, that's what Control 4 does. It simplifies, a lot of the stuff that that may be difficult for your grandma to handle, or your sister, or your mom, or your wife, right?
And Control 4 is a software that's paired with the smart home.
Yeah, Control 4 is the system basically that integrates with everything. Right, integrates with thermostats and integrates with your gate, the gate you drive through. It integrates with your security system, with your cameras, right? Yeah.
So this house.
So we offer smart shades. We offer pre-wiring, right? Design work. So if you're looking to build a new house, right? We like to really connect with the customer, connect with the builders, and design this future smart home. Because it takes time, and so we go in there. Our ideal customer is that, right? We go in, we pre-wire the home with what they want. The home finishes up, it's ready to go, and now it's in finished stage. Then we come in, we start installing those speakers, we start installing the smart home system, we start installing those TVs, we start the thermostats, the security cameras, right? The smart shades if you decide to wire them or to go wireless, right? So
I can see even that kind of automation could help the elderly, from getting up and doing, everything's working.
We've done a couple projects where we've taught the elderly how to kind of use the system, right, to where they can turn the lights on or turn them off via voice or their phone. whichever is easier, but it gives them that option. Also automate lights and create sensors, so that way when they're walking to the restroom, the lights automatically turn on, right?
Yeah,
So you're able to do
to be a business owner like yourself, and in this industry, what skills would you say that somebody would need to work on to get, to have the confidence to let go of their corporate job and just, to just be an entrepreneur and do something that they want to enjoy?
Man, it's a tough move, man. It's definitely a tough move. It takes a lot of sacrifice. It involves a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Initially, you're going to deplete a lot of money, man. And that's not necessarily the case, depending on the type of business you're starting, man. But
money is always a factor.
I would say so. Honestly, we started the business, man, on I think maybe like a less than a $2,000 investment, and we grew it from there. So that was our initial investment. You start from home. You start with you start building out a web page and getting your name out there. You start we started with friends and family.
Okay.
That's really how it started, right? Friends that trusted us.
I know I saw on your Instagram where you went to what is that? Oh, that's a smart home. You went to the food market and you installed, was that security cameras?
Food market. Which one? Which project?
So the one we just mentioned. I'm saying food market. I think a farmer's market.
Yeah.
So that business asked for security cameras.
They asked for security cameras, and they asked for pre-wiring, because they have their network set up through an IT company. But they need somebody to actually do the wiring. So we did the wiring for them for their network as well.
Okay.
But we didn't have to do it, which we could, but they have another company that managed their network.
Got it. So you guys specialize in wiring.
Yep.
If there's a company that needs help with wiring, they can reach out to you guys.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
We've done big warehouses. We've done Sneeda Hydrocoils, which is not too far. Huge warehouse where we did. We needed lifts, right? Lifts to kind of get these cameras installed. So we did their security cameras. We did their audio. We assisted with their networking. We set up TVs to show the cameras. We did a license plate reader for them because they had 18-wheelers going in and out, so they wanted to make sure they captured every vehicle coming in, right? So it's on record, So yeah, real nice setup.
The internet strength for these kind of systems. What provider are they? Is it AT&T?
It's going to be AT&T or Xfinity, right? But they provide the signal going into the business, and they provide a router / modem. But in reality, is you're going to have other equipment to distribute that signal, 300 yards on the other side of the warehouse, right?
Yeah. Did you first get wind of the word automation?
It really started with Alexa, and actually, you mentioned Lennar Homes, right? Lennar Homes is really one of the first builders that really kind of started basically, building these homes with a simple smart home system. And it actually started with, my girl Nina, right? She bought a home, and I just like tinkering. I started tinkering with her network and her Alexa stuff, and it was like this is like the first generation Alexa stuff. And when she went into the model home, they sold her the smart home package, and it's crazy because obviously when I realized that this $10,000 smart home package they sold her, it was really probably maybe like $700 worth of equipment.
Oh
yeah. So they got her in that sense, but yeah, that really kind of, we'll call it an investment on her, and that really kind of led to that was really a big motivator for me when it came to playing with this, and I was like, man, this is fun, right? I wouldn't mind working and doing this, right? Really kind of seeing all the different automations. Automations can be, you can be so creative with automations, right? Like like for your son, right? Obviously, I know he uses his hearing setup, right?
Right, his cochlear implants process.
So what you can do is you can also, when someone rings the doorbell, you can have lights, blink on and off, like 2 times, 3 times, however you want to do that, right? So now visually he knows somebody's at the door. He doesn't necessarily have to hear it. Or even if you're playing a game and you could be in a home theater room and it's so loud that no way you would hear someone ring the doorbell.
Right.
Well, you can have your lights just turn on and off, or dim from low to high. Absolutely. And we don't have too much of that business. We used to kind of go after it, but yeah, for us, it started doing a lot of TV mounting when we first started, right? Because our, installing a TV at your home was our foot in the door, right? It was a foot in the door. And as we're installing this TV, we're kind of looking around. Hey, this customer doesn't have any smart lighting, doesn't have a smart thermostat, right? Doesn't have any smart lighting, doesn't have any security, right? So these are all things that really, as soon as that, that TV mounting was over, we had that conversation with that customer. And we kind of, hey, even though you live in an apartment, we can set you up with a Ring security system that you can take to your next apartment. Right?
Right.
Very simple,
Yeah.
right? That's important, right? You never want to like install high-end stuff, especially knowing when you're going to move somewhere. And you're out the money, you have to leave it there, right?
Yeah.
So,
Do you get a lot of business with that they're asking for the smart thermostat and the smart? I'm also hearing that there's smart washer and dryers now.
Yeah. Oh, I have the Samsung Bespoke line, smart washer and dryer. Man, I love it, man. Honestly, some people think it's a gimmick, and I'll tell you, a lot of this appliances are also my oven is also smart, but it really doesn't do much. But with my washer and dryer, man, I get notifications on my TV when my laundry's done, when my washer's done. I'm able from my phone. So if I put in jeans, I'm able to actually. There's probably anywhere from like 30 to 40 settings. I always do it from my phone now. So I put the stuff in, and I think about what I put in there. If it's all whites or if it's towels, and I go to that washer setting. So that setting is made ideally for those type of clothes. Right, so if you have delicates, maybe like jerseys,
Yeah.
you go to athletic where you click that setting and it'll wash it, so that way it won't damage your clothing.
Oh, okay.
Right, and then when it's done, you get the notification that it's done. So you go there and you take it out. Now you put it in a dryer. Now you dry it the proper way as well. You put dry athletic clothing.
So
right?
that app has more advanced settings.
Yeah, so I can start it from my phone. I can turn it off from my phone.
Those options are not on the dash of the washer and dryer?
They probably are, but now you can do everything from your
From the
phone.
phone. Yeah. Okay.
So
and you can start it through the app.
yeah, and so why it's kind of cool too is like when's the last time you washed clothes and you left them there all day, right?
Yeah.
So what you're able to do now is in the morning I can put my clothes in there, right? I can go on my phone and I can be like, hey, I'm gonna be home at 5, so I can be like I can set it to where the washing ends right before 5, right when I get home.
Right.
So now it actually starts at 3 o'clock when I'm not there, ends at 5. So when I come home, it hasn't been sitting and wet in the washer all day. Now I can take it out, put it in the dryer, and go.
Yeah. We don't have to go through what is that? Those services that we used to get back in the day, Brinks, home security systems and stuff like that. That those days seem over. But again, just going back to everybody watching, Next Level Smart Home. I think a lot of guys have this dream of having this man cave. I still do. So if I do, I'm planning on, coming here and setting that up.
Consultations are always free. So yeah.
Consultations are free, because I still got to talk about price. But again, thank you everybody for watching Nueva Mentality. I'm with Jerry Orantes, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Look, catch me outside with the guys when we're live, hitting shots with a cane like bang. Bad baby on my side with an iron, they're lying. If they say they're harder than I am, I've been through a lot more than shotgun cough, but it's calm. That's where they know me from. Stormzy, I still ride with a Scott, but if Scott gonna bust, we ain't popping out Stormy. Burger and chips, we ain't hopping out Morley's. I feel like this fame ain't for me. I put in labor till my neighbors are Tories. More time sleep in the morning, dressed in black like I'm always in mourning. They're trying to book me, but I've always been touring. Performance is team of the year, we're scoring. They're all on me now, and the feeling is.